Good day, good people, and welcome to a meeting by the bench of science.
The topic of today is going to be alpha GPC. However, it's going to be a little different because this is the first nootropic we'll be discussing on the channel. And when it comes to nootropics, things aren't as simple as we'd like them to be. Okay, so what's some basic info you need to know? To start off, alpha GPC is not directly responsible for all the benefits we'll be talking about today, but rather it acts as a precursor for everything that we'll be discussing. Alpha GPC is first ingested and then it's converted into acetylcholine, and from there acetylcholine is broken down into choline and acetyl, and then we get to see all the benefits that we'll be talking about today. So acetylcholine is mostly responsible for central nervous system function as well as peripheral nervous system function, basically meaning it behaves in both the areas of the brain responsible for various brain functions, as well as outside of your brain for the rest of your body. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter that is very critical for brain function. It's responsible for stuff like thinking, movement, and various other functions in the body. It is one of, if not the most important neurotransmitter. Various types of neurotransmitters and categories that they fall into. In this case, acetylcholine falls into the area of inhibitory as well as excitatory, meaning it can inhibit certain functions from happening as well as making sure other functions happen. It more or less depends on the receptor that is receiving it, what outcome will be produced. And lower levels of acetylcholine are associated with stuff like Alzheimer's, dementia, so on and so forth. And as a small little fun fact in there, acetylcholine was the first neurotransmitter to be discovered. Okay, so how does alpha GPC act? What it does is it firstly crosses the blood-brain barrier, and then it gets converted into acetylcholine within the neurons. The reason for doing so is because you can't directly ingest acetylcholine. And for those that are worried about supplements and prefer to get their food naturally and stuff like that,
none of this is food.
there are various foods you can consume to increase acetylcholine levels. However, not many of them actually have that high of a percentage of the daily requirements. So you're better off just taking a supplement for it. But in case you are curious, some examples are beef liver at 65% of the recommended amount, one egg at 27% of the recommended amount, and 19% if you consume 86 grams of soybeans. So previously we mentioned that it acts in the central nervous system as well as the peripheral nervous system. But the question is, what does it do in each of these systems? So when we take a look at the central nervous system, it's responsible for memory, your ability to learn, pay attention, sleep cycles, as well as signaling the parts of your brain that are important for telling you to actually move your arm up or move your leg up and down, etc. So we can tell here that acetylcholine is actually very important to do close to anything. So this is especially emphasized when we take a look at the PNS, or the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system benefits from choline because it's responsible for muscular contraction. Examples being your heart rate, digestion, closing and opening your eyes like I'm doing right now, the contraction of your pupils. Basically, any muscle in your body that contracts, which is like 99%, if not 100%, as far as I know.
It's over 9,000! 9,000?! There's no way that could be right!
So the benefits fall into the various categories that you see on the screen right now. The first being the nootropic benefits, or brain function. So it is mostly associated with stuff like increased memory, learning, sleep cycle, paying attention, etc. However, there is the caveat that it's not proven to boost performance, but rather help those that are deficient in acetylcholine who may struggle with some of the previously mentioned activities. The next section is physical benefits. The physical benefits has been seen to help with various exercises in different sports, but not many sports have actually been observed. Here are some examples though. When it comes to bench pressing, it is associated with an increase in the force production. So this may be helpful to anybody that goes to the gym,
Skinny bitch.
enjoys the bench press, squatting, maybe even stuff like deadlifting, and it can really help to boost those numbers up, especially for those that are powerlifters.
So nobody will lift this heavy ass weight.
Any people that do like to play sports where it requires you to jump, for example, football or basketball, or even high jumping and stuff like that, it can increase your vertical. So it's been basically noted to assist with increasing the height at which you can jump. Finally, for cyclists, it's been noted that it can increase the power production, as well as delaying fatigue. However, it is only beneficial for the fatigue portion when it is consumed alongside L-citrulline. If you're curious about L-citrulline and its benefits, go check the episode that I'll link above or even below, wherever. I don't know yet. So for the final section is potential benefits. The potential benefits is a section dedicated for studies where they might not have been necessarily concentrating on the benefit we're seeing, but it was just observed by chance. It was like a extra bonus, if you could say that, you know? Buy one, get one free. Some examples are a decrease in anxiety, decrease in depression, and in the case of pregnant women, it has been seen to assist with the neurofunction of newborn babies or infants. However, the reason for that is possibly because of the fact that apparently 90 to 95% of pregnant women do not consume enough choline on a daily basis. If you are pregnant or you know somebody that's pregnant, this might be worth substituting with. However, do consult a doctor first. I am not a medical professional. So next up, we move to the dosage and timing. In order to see the physical benefits, a dosage in the range of 300 to 600 milligrams has been noted to be effective for most people. And in order to observe these benefits, it's recommended you take this daily, roughly 30 minutes to an hour before your exercise. In terms of the mental benefits that you might see, this is typically observed at a dosage of about 1.2 grams or at 1,200 milligrams, taken daily, broken up into 3 dosages of 400 milligrams each. So some of the warnings associated with it is the dosages where it becomes intolerable or you're starting to feel like, yo, it's doing some weird stuff.
I don't feel so good.
There's potential for low blood pressure.
I'm not feeling the pressure, no. You cannot put pressure on me.
Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and other issues. But once again, this is typically observed if you go above the recommended amount. So please don't be an idiot. Don't do that. There has been an association with increased cardiovascular disease. This increase or this association in cardiovascular disease is not observed in healthy individuals, but rather it's seen in those that already have a risk to cardiovascular disease. So anybody in your family that may have heart problems as is, or anybody I should say closer to you in your family, like direct family that has an increase in heart problems, you may want to consult a doctor first before you decide to take it for yourself. If you don't have anybody in your family or majority of your family does not struggle with any form of heart disease, you should be more or less safe. The increased risk in heart disease is associated with the increase of TMAO in the gut after ingesting alpha GPC. Okay, so summary / closing remarks. Alpha GPC is a precursor for acetylcholine. Acetylcholine gets broken down into choline. It assists in areas such as the peripheral nervous system as well as the central nervous system in activities such as moving, thinking, pretty much anything your body does. For those that have Alzheimer's, dementia, etc., it really is seen to be beneficial. For those that don't have it, it has the potential to be beneficial. Not proven, but the potential is there. If you're looking at it from a perspective of preventing such issues in the future, then this is something you may want to consider. So long as you don't struggle with any cardiovascular problems as is, or you don't know anybody in your family that struggles with cardiovascular issues. Pregnant women may potentially benefit from this. As said earlier, 90 to 95% of pregnant women do not consume enough codeine on a daily basis.
Don't let them feed this shit to our youth.
So please do consider this. And finally, in terms of the dosages, to see the benefits, if you're somebody that's really just doing this for the sports and you want to save a buck, you can more or less benefit at the range of 300 to 600 milligrams. Whereas if you're somebody that truly is here for the mental benefits of it, then you want to get to about 1.2 grams or 1,200 milligrams as a daily dose. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will hunt you down. I will find you. Better sleep with one eye open. Peace out.